Hi, everybody. It's Guru Ameen, and I'm here with my friend Atinder. And we are going to talk today. He's the bodybuilding alchemist, and I am the
The
original,
mad scientist.
the mad scientist, the original guru of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But anyway, titles are. So let's just get to the point. Today we're going to talk about Olympia predictions. Okay,
Yeah. It's just 2 weeks.
it's two
Less
weeks
than 2 weeks. Even less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks out. I want to apologize to all the fans that might have run into me at the Olympia this year. I I can't go because I have to watch my son because his mother's going.
Yeah, the toughest job.
It's like the biggest
Uh,
cock block ever. You know what I mean?
once I was doing a podcast, right? And someone asked me that what's the toughest job in the world? I said, to be a good father. That's it.
By far. My number one goal in life is to be a good father, especially after what my son has been through.
Yeah.
He lost his brother at a young age, and his mom really hasn't really been there as much as she could be. So, she was suffering from the death of her son. So anyway, let's put all that, let's talk about happy stuff now. All right. We're gonna talk about the Olympia predictions. Okay.
Yeah.
Olympia predictions, 2022 Olympia predictions. Okay.
In the
Let's talk.
beginning, I would love to start with that. Big Ramy will take it once again.
All right, top 10. This top 10. Okay. Automatically, you say Big Grammy's going to take it again. I agree.
Yeah.
I think, but here's the catcher. Okay. Who's going to be in second place? Who's going to be in second place? Because there are a lot of good people. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if we go on,
Actually, the thing is that what I am noticing is that, this is right now is an intersection point between the previous generation and this generation. This will be, I think so, because let's see, because end of the day, bodybuilding is very subjective thing,
right.
It's the matter of time, what and who and what that person brings to the stage. But we are right now at a point where the generations will shift.
I agree. I was there last year. I was at Big Grammy's photo shoot. I was with EA, hanging out with Tony. And I saw the holes in Ramy's legs. So we'll start off with that. They look worse. I'm just going to be honest. He overall, he looks better. But let's talk about Big Ramy since you got him in first place. And I have him in first place too. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen a front lat spread where the shoulder pops up. I've never seen that. That's not normal. Okay. No, he's got crazy cap delts. I'll give it to him. No question about it. But I've never, and I'm not, look, I'm not speculating. I'm not saying that he's putting anything in his shoulders. I'm just saying I've never seen a shoulder go up on a front lat spread. So that is something that's unique. And I don't know, I've never seen people say that his shoulders might be, but I don't see it though. I don't know.
Just let me ask you one thing. You were, even when you, 2 days back, I was listening to a video of you in which you were talking about 1994 collegiate nationals, right? I was fucking 4 years at that time. I born in 1990.
What are you trying to say? Can I be your dad?
So
technically I could be.
you are in the game from that time, right? You have seen the transition in each and every phase. Let me ask you one thing. From how long the site enhancements are in the game?
They've been in the game since back in the day, but honestly, people didn't abuse it as much. And it wasn't really so much about like synthol or pump and pose. The original one that I remember was pump and pose. That was the original synthol. It wasn't so much that as people would be taking shots too close to the show and you would see a lump from the shot. That's really what we were dealing with in the early 90s. In the early 90s, people had a different mentality and we stopped the injections like a week out. I mean, that's just what we did.
Yeah. We still do that. We still do that.
We still
And
do that, right? Yeah, we still do.
and literally it
But they
works.
don't.
It works. It
A
works.
lot of the other guys take shots the day of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so when you see that, you're going to see smoothness where you should see fine lines.
Starvation. Yes, yes.
Right.
Yes.
And
Starvation.
Hadi is a big example of this. And let's, so now that I've mentioned Hadi, I think Hadi's going to be in second.
Yeah.
The reason I think he's going to be in second is because, yes, bodybuilding is subjective, but there is something called you gotta keep doing it until you really make a mark, right? Unfortunately, it's like that. Look, Hunter, I didn't see it. I was there. Look, I don't know. On the TV, he looked great, right? But I was literally third row. Like that's like unbelievable seats. And he was sweating so profusely that Nick did look better than him. And I would maybe even say Ian probably looked better than him. Just
Absolutely.
as far as conditioning.
Absolutely. From past 3 years, Ian has done some tremendous improvements overall.
Ian's only problem is that he has a curvature of his upper spine. Okay, so which is giving his chest kind of like a concaveness look. Okay, so it's hard. He doesn't have very much inner chest. It's very hard for him to get that. Okay, and when he does his rear delt bicep, you see the curvature. Okay, so that some people have that, some people don't. But in bodybuilding, everything kind of counts. That is a disadvantage to him. Unfortunately, he does look good from the side.
Even what I like about Ian and Patrick, the duo, that they are working together, right? And I like the mentality at which they work. They're very honest with themselves. So they publicly say in their IG post that they are targeting the first follow. They're not saying that he will be in top 3, top 5. They're not giving the senseless predictions. They are just making a prediction that they are trying to get the first follow. That's very honest, and that's great.
I think now while we're talking about this, I think it's important that we bring up Andrew Jacked. Absolutely. Now, the reason I'm bringing up Andrew Jacked is because the two bodybuilders in this contest that I have seen right up close, I mean, right up close. I took my picture with I was backstage at Texas Pro. I got my picture with him and George Farah, very nice guy. If George can bring conditioning like he did with Kai Green back at the Arnold Classic, okay, he's going to be third. And the only reason why I say he's going to be third and not second, because he is a far superior physique.
I will predict top 6. I will predict top 6 for Andrew, not the third. In my opinion, right? We shouldn't forget. I don't see them coming first or second, but Brandon Curry and William Bonac. Let's not forget about these two.
Okay, so let's talk about Brandon and William. Let's talk about Brandon and William. Okay. And Andrew all together in the same sentence.
All together.
Andrew gets lost from the side. Okay. Yep. Front double bicep. I don't think anybody can beat him. I mean, in honesty, the way his shape is, to the small waist, to the biceps, his arms aren't the biggest. His body's not the biggest, but the way the overall pose looks is good. And I want, just from my personal experience and from also knowing judges, talking to judges, JM, I've known him since I was 19. He was taking my pictures at my contest. I'll tell you, what they judge in rounds, obviously, is the symmetry round is one whole round, right? In the symmetry round, Andrew Jack might win. It's gonna, but they won't give it to him. They'll give it to Big Ramy. That's how it is. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Big Ramy will get first, and Andrew will probably get second in the symmetry round. Hadi might get third. Brandon might get third. Brandon might get second. It's hard to say. Listen, I've never seen Brandon up close, but I have seen Andrew up close. And I can tell you this, in my lifetime, clavicle wise, the bone that goes from here to here, okay? He is one of the widest clavicle people I've seen in my life. next to Dave Bautista, who I also trained to get him into wrestling back before he was in wrestling, and King Kamali. They're also the widest people I've ever seen in real life. King Kamali credits his width to gymnastics, prepubescent gymnastics. Probably had a lot to do with it. Pulled the clavicles out. I believe in that. And I think that matters a lot. Although symmetry isn't really counted as like the true symmetry round, because if it was, then Brandon would win it. Like last year, Brandon would have won it, but he didn't. So Ramy's going to win, and because they're going to give him first place in the symmetry round also. When it comes to Brandon, the question is, are they going to fade him out? Or is he going to get ahead of Hadi? Now,
No, I think the reason is, on the only reason why Hadi lagged in previous years, because he get very little time to adjust in the US.
Yeah.
His visa problems. Now he's good. He's doing tremendous. He's around 2 months before the show in US, and he had made some amazing settlement right there.
oh, he's
He's doing
phenomenal.
good.
I don't see the
Yeah.
lumps in his shoulders anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like, Hani's probably got him doing deep tissue massage, breaking it down, whatever they're doing it right. Look, Hani's not stupid. Hani knows what he's doing. Whatever that was, that happened in Iran when Hadi was doing it himself. He probably just put 3 cc's in his shoulder. I don't think it was synthol. I don't even think they really have that shit out there. That's not really what it is. But you can put too much stuff in a small muscle, and it will look like that for days, weeks even, And in the last few Olympias, he was showing up right before the show. So whatever he did, it was
2 days, just 2 days before the show.
2 days. And the year before that, the day before the show, the day of the show, I think it was the day before, the day of, literally. That's why they said he looked better at the night show. At the night show 2 years ago, oh my God, dude, his conditioning was outstanding. But if we go on history, and I'm gonna tell you this, a lot of times, man, this isn't a real fair sport. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna say it how it is. Okay, a lot of times these judges just judge based on history. They don't really even like look. They don't. I want to believe that they do, but they just don't. And I really think that they wanted Hunter to place where he placed last year because his father placed that placing. What was it, 20 or 30 years before that? They wanted that. They wanted to see history repeat itself. It makes bodybuilding interesting. And I'll be honest with you, because the Liver King, who has nothing to do with bodybuilding, is more interesting than bodybuilding. Why is that? So when you think about that, then you're going to want to you're going to want to say, okay, well, if that's the case, that they're going to try to hype up certain people, right? Yeah. So the question is Hadi going to beat Brandon? Yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we got Ramy in first, we got Hadi in second. Third place, I agree with you. If it was fair, if George could get Andrew in the condition that Chad and Hani do, because you can only get so good, okay? Chad and Hani they know what they're doing. They know how to peak, just like we do. They know how to peak, okay? I don't know if George...
They push the limits.
Right, I don't know if George can get Andrew in that condition, at that final moment, okay? Because it really,
because what I have seen, since George has recovered from his cancer, right? He's doing good. He picked up Blessing. Before coming to George, Blessing was working with Chad, right? It's good to say that health is everything, right? But at the end moment, when a lot of things are at stake, right? We need to push a little bit to get the win. I'm talking about to get the win. Exactly. And after George recovered from his cancer, right? Obviously, he was dealing with his own health issues, right? That was the reason he was away from coaching. But since Blessing, shifted from Chad to George, Blessing was amazing. At New York Pro, he was literally peaked up to the perfection, total perfection. And after that, NU. George has announced his return, I think.
I think what it boils down to is, and I'm going to say this because I know everyone's like, oh, diuretics are bad, blah, blah, blah. They're all full of shit, just like the Liver King. They're all liars. Okay. They're all liars. They all take diuretics. You have to.
Yeah.
So forget this diuretics are bad bullshit. You cannot peak for a competition without diuretics. Who's willing and who knows how to press it without cramping? Chad has had a couple incidences, but we don't know if it was because of him or if it was because or Ronnie, being out all day, shaking hands, taking pictures or whatever. And then, because these things, when they hit you hard. You got to follow the program exactly to the T.
Exactly.
Perfectly, like to the minute. And if you do, then you can predict what they're going to look like on stage. And that's really the question. The question is who can actually peak? Okay. Now we know from the past that Matt, who was a former client of mine, Matt Jensen, can peak Nick Walker.
Yep.
Okay. And Nick Walker looks outstanding. He looks outstanding. He's humongous. The question is, will
I think Nick Walker will sneak into the top 5, and for the third place, there will be a tussle between, what I think is Andrew Jack and Derek Lunsford. We should not forget Derek Lunsford.
Derek Lunsford has a chance of being up there. It's really hard, man. Second and third and fourth place are going to be really tough to decide.
Really tough. Hadi will take the second, but the third, fourth, and fifth, they're gonna be the real thing. That's the point where the generational intersection will occur. Either it should be Brandon in the top 5, right? Or he will be out of the top 5. If Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford gonna sneak into that, they're gonna need to push Brandon Curry and William Bonek out of the top 5. That's how they will make it to the top 5.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah, I strongly believe.
So where do you think Brandon Curry is going to place?
6th.
6th.
Yeah.
5 or 6?
6th.
6th. Okay, so we got Ramy and
I may be wrong. I may be wrong because I am young and I'm a big supporter of the new generation. That's it. I can be biased, but that there is strongly a chance because the new guys that are coming. Let's talk about if you can compare, the package that Nick Walker brought to the Arnolds. It was way better separated, conditioned than any of the packages that Brandon Curry ever had.
I agree. But when a Mr. Olympia goes from first to second or third, and then the second year he doesn't win after that, and the third year after that he doesn't win, it seems like they're done with the phase of Brandon Curry.
Yes, absolutely.
But I don't see him placing past 4th. And I'll be honest with you, that's politics.
Yeah,
because I don't think
can happen.
Take a Mr. Olympia, a former Mr. Olympia, and have him.
But we have to see either the organization going to remain with the old faces, right? Or they're gonna put forward the new generation ahead. Because this year is very crucial. The big factor is generational intersection, and it's bound to happen. If this year or either next year, it's gonna happen. Lot of old faces are going to be out of the game, out of the top 5. Seriously.
Yeah, well, I don't think Brandon's going to be out of the top 5 just because of the fact that he was a Mr. Olympia and the fact that I just don't think they're going to push him that far. And I think he's improved too.
Yeah,
I think he's
made. Let's not forget about William Bonek.
Let's talk about William.
He's working with Chad, and he did really well.
Can William beat Nick?
Yeah.
Why?
Can William beat Brandon Curry? Yes.
But
Because
they won't. But they won't. They never let him though. They've never let him beat Brandon Curry.
Because what I feel, past years, past 2 years, let's talk about past 2-3 years. William was never on point, right? He was separated from Neil Hill. He was doing it all by himself.
Yeah.
One Olympia he did with Abdullah. He never peaked good, right? But in past two competitions that the past two shows William did with Chad, he was good just by working 2 months with Chad Nichols, right? Because there are some people and coaches who click very suddenly, very immediately. William has a more complete physique than Brandon Curry, right? It's just matter about peaking. He had beaten Brandon Curry a lot of times.
Did he in the past? What like what?
Yeah.
2018,
18 and 19, I think. 18, 17 and 18.
Yeah. William's another one that's going to be really tough. Again, can William beat Nick? That's the question, because that's going to be third and fourth probably.
A more mature and clean lower body. That's the factor that
I think Nick is going to get marked down for the varicose veins.
Yeah. No, that could be the, I have seen the varicose veins with Nick from a long time ago, from his child, even his very, young age.
That's
pictures.
but that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Bodybuilding is a beauty thing. It's about beauty.
Yeah.
It's a male beauty pageant. There is no male beauty pageant. It is bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is the male beauty pageant. Okay. So it's not a sport like football or soccer. It's not a sport.
Then why he didn't mark down at the Arnolds? The question is
William?
Because he was Nick Walker.
Nick Walker? Why did he what? Why did he not look as good at the Olympia as he did at the Arnold?
No. I'm saying why he didn't get marked down for the varicose veins at the Arnolds. He won that show.
Because he was just that much better than everyone else.
Absolutely. The question is that if he comes,
if he comes in the best condition,
let's talk about. If both of them, William and Nick Walker, came in the best conditions, William gonna take it at the Olympia.
William's gonna take it at the Olympia.
Yeah.
Okay, so William beats him. So now who's third place? We got Ramy in first, Hadi in second. Who's third? Brandon? No, you said Brandon's sixth.
No. In my opinion, it's gonna be William Bonac and Derek Lunsford or Andrew Jack. Let's see. Because the reason why Derek Lunsford, the true potential of Derek Lunsford is right now when he switched to the open. For 212, he had to go deplete to a whole another level.
He looks far better. There's no question.
Yeah. And he won that. He won 212 Mr. Olympia at almost 60% of the fullness, 60 to 70% of his own fullness. He won the Olympia 212. He's that good.
Wow. Yeah, he is. And I saw him.
He was flat.
He was flat. He was a little flat.
Yeah.
He looks outstanding.
Right.
He's as far as shape, size, and muscle bellies go, I think he could beat William. He's that good.
Absolutely.
It's just a matter of whether he's going to be dry. That's the question. Who's going to be dry? I know William will be dry because Chad.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's really not a battle of the bodybuilders. It's a battle of the coaches.
Absolutely.
It's the coaches who are the ones who are going to be able to decide whether this guy's going to be dry enough. Should he take this diuretic? Should he not? Should he drink water? Should he not? Does he need more carbs? Does he not? What does he have to eat? Should he eat? Should he not? Does he need sugar? Does he not?
Each and every game. It's not just about bodybuilding. Each and every game is just played by the coaches. Let's be fair about that. The strategies are decided by the coaches. The coaches is that important.
It's true. It's true. And then this more than anyone, and in this competition more than any other competition, I think it's by the coaches, because literally the coach sees them that morning and he can decide, he can make a change, whether it's taking a diuretic or eating some potato or whatever, that could, or even honey, that could just make a huge difference, you know, and then they change even when they pump up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean,
you remember
gotta factor all that in.
2020 Mr. Olympia, Remy just changed at the posing.
Yeah. Yeah. And as they're posing, because they're burning more and more glycogen, they're either going to get drier or they're going to start sweating. Hunter started sweating. Ramy started getting drier.
Yeah.
Hadi started getting drier.
Yeah. Hadi, just when he stepped on the stage, he's just whole new animal. The whole
Okay,
new
so
animal.
Hadi, I actually did like the one arm hug. He's deaf. He's got to hear. Okay.
I had done an interview. I had done an interview, face-to-face interview with Hadi Chopin at 2019 Amateur Olympia India.
Okay.
He's a good guy. I have sat down with him, done an interview of 1 hour, and that guy is, you know, you can feel the roundness of his muscle bellies.
Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. So when I went in to give him a hug, I didn't know that Hani was behind me. I didn't see Hani behind me. So I honestly thought that he was saying hi to me, but he wasn't. He was saying, he was trying to look out for Hani, who was behind him, but I intercepted him and I kind of came in and gave him a hug. I guess he thought I was a fan. I don't know. That guy feels like a rock, like literally like a table. Like, I mean, when you touch someone's muscle and they're not even flexing, and it's so solid that it's actually like a rock.
Yeah.
Nobody else has that. He's the densest bodybuilder on the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. So first Ramy, second Hadi, third and fourth Andrew, Jack, and Derek Lunsford. My predictions. Now we are remaining with fifth and sixth.
Fifth and sixth. Well, we got Nick, we got Derek,
and William.
We got Andrew, and we got Brandon. Nick, Derek, Andrew, and Brandon.
Yeah.
Do you think that they will let Derek beat Brandon? Because Brandon won a Mr. Olympia. Derek also, he won a Mr. Olympia too. But do you think they'll let the 212 guy beat the?
Yeah, absolutely. Because Brandon is not coming with any improvement from 2 years. I literally can't see any improvement after the Olympia.
You don't see it?
No, I don't know.
They say he's bigger. They say he's improved.
They say, who say? Those O2 guys, they always say. What they say is never a new thing. They say a lot of things, but end of the day, most of the things doesn't happen on the stage. Whatever they said. In their opinion,
I don't think they can peak as well. I'll just be honest.
They can't. They
don't know the tricks to do at the last minute. They don't know.
No.
And there are some things you can do literally an hour before the show that could totally change the guy. But if you don't know how to do it, or you could do something dangerous and end up cramping, and that's even worse.
That's even worse.
Yeah, it's even worse.
There is a difference. The knowledge that you accumulate by studying and analyzing the things and then applying the things, that's a different knowledge from the knowledge that you got from copy pasting the others' methods. That there is a huge difference. Huge difference.
There is a huge difference. And that's all part of, like knowing what you're doing. These guys, for years, the best they could get Brandon, his shape.
And even I had seen people criticizing the use of potassium. Oh, so you are using potassium, your heart's gonna cramp. Fuck, we know the electrolyte balance, right? We know what we have depleted from the body. We know what are the signs of elevated potassium. That's why we are doing the shit. We are not sitting here and pumping potassium like, 10 ml after every meal. No, we're not doing that. We know that's the reason,
Honestly, that is because potassium keeps water in the cell and sodium keeps it out the cell. If you don't have the balance right, you can never get dry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the only difference. And that's the only difference. Diuretics, they can change the appearance a little bit, right? But the amount of water that are you holding inside your muscle and how you're gonna pull it from the subcu to the muscle, that's the trick. That's the trick. From the subcu to the muscle, that's it.
Most people get rid of it. I pull it in. We pull it in. I think that's safer. If you pull it in, you're not going to cramp. If you get rid of it, you could also get rid of water.
You're going to cramp.
Not just that, but you could also get rid of water inside the muscle, which means you'll be flat.
Yeah.
So that's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised a lot of these guys do it without potassium. I don't know how they do it. I don't know, how can you do it without potassium?
You know what I think? That with these type of lenient approaches, you can't win the top spots. The top spots are not won by these type of lenient approaches. You have to be very calculative when it comes to the top. Yes, you can do a good peak. You can get a decent peak by avoiding all these things. But the top prizes are the different spot.
Yeah.
The top place is a different spot.
There's a big difference between looking good.
Whether it's an amateur show, whether it's an amateur show, whether it's a pro show, whether it's Mr. Olympia, the top spot is just a different place to be.
And Chad knows. Chad knows. He's been there. He knows he's not scared. And apparently, listen, I don't know how many people he coaches, but I know he did Ronnie good. I know he's helped quite a few people, and I know the ones that he has helped have won, they've done well. So every time that he does help someone and they do well, he learns more and more and more and more. So he should be smarter now than he was then. He should be,
Yeah, absolutely. And he is. It's not an easy task to pick up Ramy. No. Ramy is a failure of at least 6 coaches before him.
He looked good with Chris Aceto, but for some reason he didn't look good enough.
Yeah.
Well, now, since it's a battle of the coaches and we know that George isn't going to push it, so where does that leave Andrew? Behind Nick?
No, Andrew has a strong chance to overtake Nick. I already told you, first Ramy, second Hadi, third and fourth is gonna toss up between Derek and Andrew. That's my opinion. Now we are left with 5th and 6th, and we have 3 people, Brandon, William, and Nick.
I think it's going to be in that order. I think it'll be Brandon, William, then Nick.
Nick can cross. There is no rock solid or even a 90% accurate prediction of these 3 guys.
But it's not about the look.
Okay, Nick Walker is that capable. He can he can rip up to 3rd and 4th too. If he comes too good and any one of them missed anything, Nick can squeeze up to the 3rd and 4th place too. But on the given day, it matters on the given day.
So much matters on that day. If let's just say we put politics in there, okay?
Yeah.
Will Nick beat Brandon politically?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think they want Nick to be on the rise? Nick's on the rise now?
Yeah.
Brandon's on the way out?
Yeah. It's gonna be.
Where does that leave Hunter and Ian?
I think so. Hunter, in my opinion, 8th or 9th this year.
Behind Ian or before Ian ahead of him?
I am taking out the political factor totally. I'm not talking about the political factor. I'm just talking about the physique, right? I'm talking about the physique, and as a fan, I'm predicting as a fan, not as a judge. Fan of the
Okay.
bodybuilding and not even a fan of a particular bodybuilder.
What about this? We forgot about Crizzo. He's going to be in it too. What about him?
Maybe
Well, I mean,
top 10 for
where do
sure.
you Crizzo and Andrew, are they even close?
No, not at all. Not at all. Prizo, Prizo needs a lot of muscle maturity.
He's
Yes.
got big arms. He's got
Yeah.
broad shoulders. He's got broad
Yeah.
platforms.
But when we talk about, the overall muscle maturity, he lacks that.
Like
And
Hadi has it.
yeah, absolutely.
I think also a lot of people don't take into consideration what drugs they're on. I'm just going to be honest about it, right? If you're in the Middle East, you have access to better stuff than you do here in America.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're ordering stuff, then that's a different story. But when that Iranian Anavar and Iranian Anadrol, and dude, some of the stuff that they make is like the name brand of America stuff. They made it really good copies.
Yeah, just like last time we talked about that Iranian and Indian pharmaceuticals are way better than the Americans. Way better.
I think that plays a big factor in. I think that's why Brandon leaves the country. I think he goes, to Kuwait they have everything he needs over there.
Yeah, but the better thing is
they
that
still can't peak him.
To stay in America, do your shit right, and orders the stuff from the outside. That's a better way.
Yeah.
That's a better way.
If you could do that, that's probably the only way, because you don't want to have to make anything. You don't want to be in America trying to buy raws or do whatever these UGL companies are doing, because at the end of the day, it's not going to be as pure, as low a Dalton weight as it is with the pharmaceutical grade.
Yeah. Because why I placed Derek in third and fourth place, because he is more complete than Brandon. He's way more complete than Brandon. Yes, Brandon has a better muscle maturity, but Derek is overall balanced, a far more balanced bodybuilder than Brandon Curry.
Very good back too. Very good.
Yeah,
back.
dense, thick.
Yeah.
At that age, he's young.
What is it with Nick that he can't do a rear lat spread? He can't spread his lats like, he's just kind of like it's like he's doing a hands on hip most muscular instead of actually spreading it. He doesn't have the mobility, I don't think.
Let's see. Sometime even on the social media, they don't show their best things. You see the best Nick Walker on the Arnold stage, not at the Instagram, and that was a different Nick Walker. That Nick Walker shown on social media was different, and the Nick Walker on the Arnold stage was different.
So Nick places ahead of Brandon. Nick places behind William.
I think so.
But behind
no. There is a toss up between William and Nick. There will be a toss up. Let's see. The whole thing relies here for a comeback of William Bonac is how efficiently they will pick up. That's the matter. And let's see how the system of Chad and William Bonac works for them, right? Because if it works, yes, absolutely, William Bonac can place above Nick Walker. If there will be a little bit of hiccup, Nick Walker can overtake both Brandon Curry and William Bonac too.
We got to look at the poses, okay?
Yeah.
Front double bicep between William and between William Bonac and between Nick Walker. Front double bicep, who wins?
Let's see. If we talk about a complete physique, I will give it to William Bonac.
I would too. But size Nick Walker has. Williams got size too. Williams really thick. Apparently, Chad's saying he's thicker.
Once I was hearing about William Bonac, I don't know whose interviews I was hearing, and he was like, William Bonac is just like a compressed Kai Green.
Yeah, he's thicker.
Yeah, he's thicker.
Rounder chest. He's got incredible arms.
Muscle maturity, roundness, is with William Bonac is better than Brandon Curry and overall because Brandon has upper body, right? His arms and delts are
Arms aren't as
round.
big. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're round. When it comes to Brandon Curry, they're round. But the roundness is missing from the quads, from the lower body. That roundness is missing, but William Bonac has that.
Yeah, he does. Nick has probably the best hamstrings in the
Yeah.
whole show.
Side
Which is-
chest all day, side chest all day to Nick Walker. Side chest.
Well, Big
He's-
Ramy. Big Ramy's legs are crazy.
No. We are talking about.
Okay, so Ramy, forget it. He's already won. Everybody else, okay. Yeah, Nick Walker, side chest, he's going to win. Side tricep is tough to say because, William Bonac has a tighter midsection. So William Bonac might win the side tricep. Rear delt bicep, I'd have to have it William. William's going to win the rear and the rear lat spread. So just alone based on that, William's going to beat Nick.
Absolutely. The only matter is how on crest will be William Bonac. That's it.
Even if Nick is on point 100%, what's the best he could do? Given that everybody's going to be 100%, what's the best Nick?
Fifth. Yeah.
So do you think Hunter's going to leave the top 6 this year?
Absolutely.
I want to say I believe you because you're right. Physique wise, you're correct. But politics, man, I'm telling you, that's Lila Prada's son. I don't think he's going to place out the top 6. I don't know.
Because eventually, if you're gonna put Hunter on a top spot, not on the top spot in the top 6, then you are pushing back a worthy contender who can give you a better promotion as an athlete. You are pushing somebody out of that zone. Hunter, he already, he's established, right? He's established. His father has established his legacy, and now he also established Hunter as a part of their supplement brand. But if Hunter cannot be that appealing brand ambassador or the ambassador of IFBB Pro League at that good level.
There is something about the competition that I think we should discuss. There's something about being in the middle. A lot of people don't understand this, but I saw this clearly at all the shows I've been to. I've been to many shows and seen this. The lighting is better in the middle. It is. The lighting on the slide, if you have everybody in a row and the people in the middle, the lighting here is going to be, and the lighting right in the middle is going to be the best. And they have a square in the middle, usually, or a piece of tape or something like that, they know. And when they put someone there, they're going to look better than everybody else.
But I have seen a little change in that. That's what I see at the pro shows too, and the pro qualifiers too, and even at the Olympia. Now the judges are rotating each and every one from the call out to the center wants to compare with the others. It's not that if someone is in the dead center, he will remain at the dead center. It's not happening now. It was happening before. The times when Phil Heath was so good, he came to the center and get out from that. But nowadays they're comparing a lot. The comparisons are really long and tiring right now. So they're putting from just talk about the first call out. There will be 7 guys in the first call out, right?
7 or 6?
Sometimes 7, sometimes 6.
Okay.
It's not fixed. It depends how many of them go so head to head with them, right?
You don't think politically Hunter's going to be in that first call out?
Yeah, politically he can be. Politically he can be in that. But it's very hard for me to judge the competitions or the predictions politically because it's so hard for me to forget about the hard work and bring out the politics at a priority. But eventually if it plays like that, it's gonna play like that, right?
I've seen Bonac get screwed before. I've seen a few of these guys get screwed before. where I was like, there's no way. But this has been going on for years. I mean, I've seen this happen since the 90s, where they know they want someone to win, and that's the guy that's going to win.
Yeah.
No,
Even I'm a big fan of Dorian Yates, but literally 97, 96, I think 96 and 97 when Nasser was winning. That was Nasser Al Sonbati was winning.
I
The
wasn't
last
there.
Olympia.
And Dorian's my friend, so I don't want to say anything about it. I wasn't there, but I've seen this happen when I've been
Yeah.
there at the Arnold. I've been there when I've been
But,
there.
let's
in
be honest.
India.
Let's be honest. That was first and second spot. We are talking about 6, 7 spot. If these places should not be decided politically, I think so.
But this year, there's so many people that I think politics is going to have to weigh in on it somewhat. Like Hunter, I just don't see him not making the first call out regardless, because he was sweating so bad. There was no way that he should have placed the way he did last year. That all of a sudden they're going to let him
even
just
if
slide out.
if you see when they announced the placing, Nick was not happy about that.
Because Nick definitely beat him.
Nick should be fourth. Nick should be fourth.
But do you think they're going to make up for it and let Nick beat him this year? Nick doesn't have any legacy like his father, like Hunter's father. Hunter's
Nick
father, huh?
Nick can beat him easily.
Oh, I know Nick can beat him. Nick already beat him. There's no question about that. But will they let him place higher? Will they let him?
They have to. If someone is coming so improved, they have to.
They're going to mark down his varicose veins, and they're going to say Hunter's body looks prettier.
Even Hunter has some varicose veins in his upper body. Let's be fair about that.
Chest.
Yeah, through his chest. And his upper pack is not developed.
It's torn.
Not even developed.
It's torn. It's bad. Yeah. I don't see how he beat him last year. That's what I'm saying. Politics really do matter in this sport. It's a very political sport, or beauty pageant, whatever you want to call it.
So we have done up to the 6th. Now it comes to 7th and 8th. And in my opinion, 7th is going to be Ian, right? And 8th is going to be Hunter.
Well, we forgot about the boogeyman.
9th and 10th. Let's be fair about that.
Because of conditioning?
No, the overall completeness.
His legs are too small.
You can't say it's small. He is developing right now. He is not a complete project. Blessing is not a complete project yet, but he will definitely. I think he can make it up to top 10. Coming from nowhere to the top 10 is even an achievement,
If he makes the top 10, he'll be doing great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I tell you what, when George is finished with the guy, size-wise, he should be really impressive.
He should be in top 5. In coming 2 years, he can really break into the top 5.
He could.
Yeah, the improvements he had made with George Farah in last 1 year is so outstanding from not even qualifying to the Olympia and winning 2 pro shows and qualifying to the Olympia.
It's so crazy how in some instances Chad can make somebody the best, but then
it's all about clicking. It's all about who clicks with anyone in a better way. People had left Chad, people had left George, people had left Hani. Even people, there was a bodybuilder. I always, what was his name? He was working with Hani Rambod. That guy, who was working out in, tights in a very underground gym. I just can't remember his name. He was working with Hani Rambod, but he screws up his health. And later on, he also worked with Matt Jensen, but after that, he quit. Right. So it's all about clicking. It's not anyone.
Clicking, I agree 100%. But a lot of times these guys lie. They just lie. They lie about what they've done in the past. They lie about how much they're taking.
That's about clicking.
That is about clicking. Yeah. You wouldn't lie.
That is also about clicking. That is all means I have seen George backstage with Blessing applying a shiner to him before the stage. George is that close to his guys, that close during the prep with Blessing, and that makes a lot of difference. You know,
Sure.
Chad works in a different aura. Chad works in a different aura. He's he never goes to the backstage. In very rare cases, he goes to the backstage, right, or with the athletes. But George is a guy that will be with you if you are true to him. You are giving you 100%, and George is healthy. George is 100% healthy in his own health. That guy is a guy who literally goes with his athletes backstage, apply
He
tan to
does.
them,
He was.
give
I
the
saw him.
finishing touches.
That's
Yeah,
where I
giving the
saw. That's
yeah,
right. That's where I saw him
and
and Andrew. He did the same
that
thing
that's
with Andrew.
clicking.
Yeah.
That's clicking. That's clicking.
I think Andrew has potential to be really good.
Yeah.
Like, but from the side, I don't see it.
That guy just turned pro, you know, and qualified for the Olympia. There is a lot of work that needs to be done there before he can become a potential threat. But in coming 2 years, I really consider Blessing and Andrew Jack as the potential top 5 guys all
I
time.
tell you, George really thought that Andrew had a chance of winning this year. He's like, I think he could win this year, and I was surprised to hear him say that because I didn't really think his condition was, spot on at the Texas, but nonetheless he was a winner. Okay.
Yeah.
But if he would have looked like, let's say, Martin, if you would have had Martin's condition, dude,
Even what I have seen, uh, in the rules and regulations after so many deaths that had occurred in past few years, you know,
man.
the criteria of judging is more center focused to the fullness part too, instead of and even at the amateur shows in the pro qualifiers, I have seen how judging shifted uh, from a very crisp condition to a fullness guy. I have seen this.
Full and dry though. You got to be
Yeah,
dry.
full and dry, full and dry. That's it. But fullness should be there. Judges are pro league judges are not compromising on the fullness.
What do you think about the top 6? How many of them you think are going to be using insulin when they carb up?
Top 6, no one.
No one?
Yeah. You
don't think Chad has them do insulin? I don't know. I'm just asking.
No, because insulin loading just give you a different appearance. It shows, it comes up when you're on the stage, you're posing, your full your carb loading with insulin looks a little different than an old school carb loading. There is a huge difference in the look.
You're not quite as dry, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So let's say Ramy's first, Hadi second. Who do we have in third?
Third and fourth, it was Andrew and Derek.
Andrew and Derek. I think Derek will beat Andrew.
Yeah.
I think Derek beats Andrew. So third is Derek. Fourth, let's say, is Andrew. Fifth is going to be.
Fifth and sixth will be Nick. William and Nick Walker.
William and Nick. And then right after that, does Hunter place ahead of Ian this year?
If we are considering politics, it can, but we are let's get it in that way. We have done up to 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. 7th will be a toss-up between Brandon and Ian. Let's not forget about Brendan. I think we had left Brandon in our last. Yeah.
So but we do have
7th Brandon. 8th
we do have
Ian.
We have Derek beating Brandon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
7th,
so Brandon's going to slip this year. Brandon's going to slip, but I think he's going to stay in the top 6.
Let's see. Let's see. Because what I feel, there are more complete guys in the lineup than Brandon.
I think condition-wise, I think Hani will get Derek in better condition than we will see Brandon.
Absolutely.
And so for that reason, I think that he'll place ahead of him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Brandon's going to slip too far because he was a Mr. Olympia.
This is what I feel also.
He might come in third, and Andrew might be pushed back. Just because that was how it was, the top 5 last year. They kind of, they kind of go off that.
Yeah. But a lot of guys are coming for Brendan. A lot of guys.
There are a lot of people that are going to be proud. They're better. They're going to be better than him.
Maybe they can keep Brendan in the top 5 politically this year, but next year it will be too difficult for each and everyone to hold Brendan up there. For him, for his coach, and for for the judges too. It will be too difficult to keep Brendan in top 5 next year. This year, I can say, but next year it will be very difficult.
I agree. I think Brandon's on his way out. I think Derek's going to be placing ahead of him. I think William, because of Chad, will place higher than him because of his look. I think this will probably be the best William's going to look too this year. Yeah. And then after this, I don't know if William can pull it off. Let's just face it, man. Bodybuilders at that level, you can't really do it more than 10 years. At the top level, because there's a certain amount of shit you have to take in order to be that big. And regardless of what anyone says, it's a substantial amount of drugs, and it's going to affect your health. And so we're looking at the top 10, you're thinking, we always think about 6th, 7th, and 8th coming in to the top 5, to the top 6, But this year with Brandon and William, they've been competing for a long time. I don't know how much longer they can keep it up.
Yeah.
And they're pumping Hunter. They're trying to hype up Hunter. So I think Hunter has a political advantage. And I do think he's going to place.
But again, the question is for how many years? Hunter is not a guy that you can keep pushing to the top spot. No, you can't. You can't do that.
He's not going to make the top spot.
No. The
question is this last year going to be his best placing? And I think it was. I don't think he's going to place ever. I don't think he's ever going to get 4th again.
No.
I think that was it. But no matter how.
Yeah, politically, they can keep him in the top 10, but not in the top 3. He's not that good.
But is he going to beat Brandon, though? Is he going to beat Brandon?
Technically, I don't think so.
Technically, I think Brandon should beat him. Yeah, I agree. But, we're looking at top 6 people.
Again, I'm eyeing for a, 9th or 10th spot for Hunter, physique-wise, not the political-wise. Let's see how it plays, but 9th and 10th spot.
And Brandon, you have in what? 6th? 7th?
Yeah, 7th.
I would have to say he's going to stay. I would have to disagree and say Brandon's going to stay in the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
But this is his warning. It's his warning, basically, that if you come back next year, you're not going to be in the top 6. You're done. So I think, but I don't think they're gonna let him go from 3rd place to out of the top 6. Yeah. I think a lot of bodybuilding judging has to do with previous years. I do. I think a lot of it they just look at, he won last year. Okay, well, he can't be worse than this. He won that because it's so subjective. Yeah. I mean, apparently they didn't mark him down for sweating like that.
Eventually Brandon is going to place in top 5. Yes, there is a 95% probability of that, right? If even he comes at the same level that he's coming from past years, he will be placed in top 5, right? But again, in my opinion, on the completeness of the physique and each and everything, let's talk about just bodybuilding. If we talk about bodybuilding,
but he was a Mr. Olympia winner. I mean, we can't discredit that.
Yeah, we can't discredit that because again, that lineup
was not the same as this year. Yeah, this whole lineup. Yeah, no, yeah.
Not at all.
How far ahead is Big Ramy than everybody else?
Again, if anything drastic doesn't happen, Big Ramy is way ahead.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the thing is that, right? What I felt this year, previous year's prep was just a healing time for Big Ramy. He was not doing workout because he was not able. He was not able to do the workouts and all these things.
I mean, he's got
But
two
this,
wives. I'm sure that keeps him busy.
that's a different story. But what I feel this year, Remy looks. Forget about the quads and all the things that they had done with the quads in the previous year when he was in Kuwait. Right.
Right.
Let's talk about the skin quality.
It's
It's
thin. It's thin.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the skin quality's
It's
thin. He's
improved.
hard.
It's improved because what I know is that Chad is a real technician with the diet, and nutrition plays a very crucial role in how your skin looks like. It's a fact.
Listen, when I asked Remy last year at the photo shoot, he said he was hungry. They didn't have food with them. I was surprised Dennis didn't bring food with them, but regardless, maybe they were late too. But either way, he said, "Can you get me 6 ounces of fish and 6 ounces of rice?" That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
This is the day after the show,
Yeah.
so he was still, eating.
And
That's
Chad makes people die. That's it. Just like we make people die, he makes people die. Literally, people sometimes whenever I face a new inquiry from a new client that is coming to me for coaching, people think that we have a magic truck with us that get our guys so conditioned on the stage. No, nothing. We just kill people with the diet. That's it.
hard work, man.
Our work.
Hard
We
work.
kill people on diet and cardio. That's it.
And we
That's it.
and I think a lot of people don't know too is that you look good 2 weeks out. We maintain that, and that's really when you start to back off on everything.
There is some other federations world championship going on in Thailand this weekend. I don't know the name of federations, but my two guys, two male and one female client is doing that show. And the guy who is doing the men's physique, he was surprised that how someone can get that condition by using 125 125 2 shots of test cypionate, 300 mgs of primo, half tablet of clen, half tablet of T3, and that too 2 days off on 2 days off without
Right.
any gh. How someone can get that condition? That guy is still in surprise. He's about to play the show 3 days later, but he's still in a surprise. And he's still in a surprise that you didn't cut off anything. The water is going, the salt is going. He's going to be on stage on Saturday, and tomorrow night we're going to start his carb load. But the thing is that no drug can replace the hard work. Yes, drugs play a crucial role in the final package, but they can't replace the hard work. That's it.
Right. You can only make someone good better. You can't make someone that's not good.
Yeah, even what I love to bring out here with our audience is that we rarely, I think, in past 1.5 years, we had recommended propionate to just 2 people. Just propionate to 2 people. There is a myth that when you are in a cutting phase, you have to go with the propionate. No, you don't need to.
One of the leanest people I ever knew, he dieted on just Cypionate.
That's
didn't
it.
take any Winstrol, didn't take anything else, just died on Cypionate. That was it.
Just let's break it down a little bit. What's the real difference between enanthiate and cypionate in your point of view?
The ester is still
Yeah.
testosterone. The time it stays in your body.
Yeah. But
also the length of time it takes to peak and how long it stays peak before it starts to go out. That's pretty much the only difference.
yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people, they don't like enanthate. It's because they don't feel the rise as you do when you do cypionate. And propionate, it does it much quicker. It's very fast up and it's very fast down. So if
That's the thing. I literally felt that difference. Cypionate is a very, a very balanced thing between propionate and enanthate.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Sustanon seems to be good for people but still Sustanon can bother someone that propionate doesn't work well with.
Yes. Yes. Some people even at 25 mg of propionate, they feel the pain, as we discussed in our last talk. But that is the reason that's why I always kept cypionate more with my clients, because you can feel that and it retains.
It retains, yeah.
It retains, and after that it's always works better, feels better on cypionate to be on enanthate.
Yeah, it's just that they don't make it as much anymore. They're starting to phase it out. Enanthate seems to be the one that they're using for like TRT or
Because they're not considering the bodybuilders.
no, of course not.
They're making for they're making for regular people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A regular person's gonna love enanthate. That's just they'll be fine with it. But if you've had sip and then it's better.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I talk to a lot of people and they say that they don't feel anything but propionate, but that's because they're looking for that sharp increase. It goes higher, but it also leaves you faster. So you're going to have to take like 3 shots a week if it even works. And if it causes inflammation, forget it. You're going to have a lot of problems.
I have seen people performing so good at just 125 mg twice a week on cypionate. They're growing like, they're growing like weed. There was a guy, I trained. He's just on. He started his off season with 125 into 2 cypionate. He grew really good on that. Just.
Do you think? I think that the fact that Bonak's in the Netherlands and he, just being over there, he can get more stuff, better, more higher quality stuff also.
Yeah.
I think that makes a big difference too.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, all their placings have to do with what they take. Because if you take UGL stuff, it's going to show.
Yeah.
The impurities.
Let's be honest on that. Let's be honest on that. Most of the things that we use are UGL. UGL. That's it. You have to deal with that. You have to be very critical in observing what you are taking and how it is showing up on your physique. You have to be very critical in that. You just can't.
They don't make trend. Yeah. They don't make trend pharmaceutical. They don't make master-owned pharmaceutical. It's very hard to get Anavar pharmaceutical. Halotestin doesn't exist anymore. Pharmaceutical. Most of the drugs other than test, it's hard to get pharmaceutical. It really is.
But eventually from the literature, we know that how the look and the feel you got when you use a trend, right? How you feel when you use Primo, how you feel when you use a Mastron, right? We have people that can guide us, right? We have the literature that can guide us on that thing. We have to learn that how a particular salt works on your body and how it's showing up on your body when you are taking a UGL stuff. You have to be very, very critical, right? If even your test, I have seen companies, the UGLs doing, adding something. I don't know what they add. They can add propionate, or they can add a little bit of 10 to 15 mgs of pren acetate to the test enanthate just to make it work faster. I have seen, I have seen people saying, I have used test enanthate of that pharma and it shows up in 5 days. 5 days I can feel that. No, you can't do that. It's not enanthate. If you are feeling that on, if you're feeling that on second, third day of the shot, it's not test enanthate. You have to observe these things very critically, how you're feeling. And even the estrogen levels and the prolactin levels even if you are, I'm a big fan of that, to check out prolactin levels, even if you're not using tren acetate, it can give you the idea of what you're using.
Do you like Caber?
Yeah. If you're using trend, sometimes if the sensitivity is too high, you have to.
Yeah. Of the trends, speaking of which, of the trends that are out there, which one's your favorite for competing?
Trend hexa.
I agree. The acetate's too fast, man.
Too fast, too drastic.
fast.
Too,
Yeah,
too fast, too drastic. You can't use acetate for more than 2 weeks. Even I don't use it for more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks is plenty. If you use it during the depletion and a little bit right up to the reloading, that's fine. But
yeah, that's it.
Past that, then you don't need it. It's no good.
Yeah. Access too smooth, too smooth. It doesn't get you that irritated, but it works very slowly, in a very good way.
So back to our predictions. Do you think there's any chance that Hadi could beat Ramy?
No.
No, I don't either. Ramy's just too far ahead. He's too tall and he's too big.
And too wide.
And too wide. The clavicles are too wide. And are we pretty sure that Hadi's going to beat Brandon?
Yeah.
This is going to be the year?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see it now. You can see it happening right now.
Yeah, you can. Well, Brandon's not really posting that many pictures.
Whatever.
But I think again, it doesn't make a difference. Like, you could show up in America, be here 2 weeks before the show, and if you don't take the right stuff the night before the show or the day of the show, you're not going to look as good. So none of these pictures on Instagram really matter.
Even if you had Kuwaiti speaking them, and they can't do that. Iranians, they know the peaking way better than the Kuwaitis. Even the coaches, the Iranian coaches that people don't even know, and they are not even in the limelight, they can peak big guys way better than the Kuwaitis.
Yeah, as it boils down to the diuretics, or to the peak week, to the whole peak week, right?
Common sense, observation.
They're doing something wrong, whether it's too much carbs or they don't monitor the water right or something. But if Brandon came in crazy shredded, what's the best he could place? Still behind Derek?
If crazy shredded, still behind Derek. I will keep him behind Derek.
Me too. I think Derek's gonna be the biggest shocker this year.
Derek, absolutely. That guy is unleashed to the best potential. Potential. Yeah. He just needed, sometimes we just need to settle down the old business, the unfinished business that he did last year at 212.
Yeah.
He got what he was destined to got, but after that he was unleashed to a whole new level.
He in Pittsburgh, he looked probably better than all of them.
Damn. Literally better than each and every one.
Yeah. I mean, the way his quads are shaped too, they have that nice shape like this. They're not, like straight up and down like some people. Like Brandon, for example. Brandon's quads don't look near as good as Derek's.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're phenomenal. The way they're shaped.
And even Derek is almost head to head in upper body with Brennan.
Possibly better arms.
Yeah. And even midsection. And
better
even
back.
Midsection too.
Midsection too. Yeah, Derek's going to be the one, man, this year. He's going to surprise a lot of people. I have Derek beating Hunter. I think Derek can beat Nick too.
Yeah, he can.
Nick, unfortunately, if he was just an inch wider up here, he would do better than a lot of people. But he's just, unfortunately, because of that, he's just too straight up and down. There's nothing
Yeah.
you can do about that. He built his shoulders as big as he can. He built his back as big as he can.
I think he can what he can improve is a little more density to the back, thickness to the back.
But he's got some problems with that. I think he can't go in the rear delt bicep. He doesn't go back as far enough like you're supposed to. You see it, he looks like this. They're not back like that.
And
See,
even
pictures.
when you see the back pose of Nick, it doesn't look appealing because what I noticed, he has to keep his right leg straight to show his the inner part of his hamstring.
I
show that.
agree. Also, his legs are too far apart. Like his
He
feet
has
are
to
too far
place
apart.
he has to place his legs to his feet too apart in the back double because his insertions of his hamstring are bit inside. They're bit
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
That's why he always keep his leg straight so that he can show up his inner hamstring, the inner part of his hamstring. That's why he has to keep that. He has to keep his leg positioned in that way to look back double a little better.
So we have the battle between Chad, George, and Matt this year, right?
Honey.
And Hani, of course. I'm sorry, and Hani.
Yeah.
Hani, if you really want to boil down to it, it's Hani and Chad, the battle between Hani and Chad.
Absolutely. And what I love about Hani, that guy, when it comes to getting into the zone with his athletes, that guy is totally into the zone, training them, remaining with them, living with them, and doing everything. He was about to come to Mumbai this year, but when he saw the sensitivity of the lineup, he decided to cancel up.
He's got Derek and Hadi. I mean, do you think Hani has Derek and Hadi? Who do you think is going to, between the two of them, who do you think is going to look better?
Hadi, all day.
Because he already has the maturity.
Yeah.
Even though Derek was shredded last year, he doesn't have that look that Hadi does. Hadi's got a really crazy look to him,
Yes, and that's crazy lifting, crazy lifting.
Just drop set, You see
and it works. And what I think is missing. Yes, people are doing the high volume training, and I'm not against the high volume training, but you have to mix it up with the high intensity training too. You have to see how you apply the load, how you handle the load, and how you execute each and every rep. Yes, volume has its own part, right? But intensity is the key, how you shape up your muscle, how grainy they will look. It's the intensity, not the volume.
Totally. Because if you can't deal with the pain of the burn,
no matter how good coach you have, who you hired as a coach, as a nutritionist, or a prep coach, who you hired, unless you are not pushing the intensity, and sometimes you have to mix it up with the volume, you can't get the grainy look. That's it. You can't get the muscle maturity.
When do you think that these guys are cutting out their supplements? Or do you think they're
I don't know, but I have seen
not gear. I mean, like whey protein, like multivitamins, stuff like that. Do you think they cut it out, or you think they keep it in?
I think there are certain multivitamins, certain vitamins that you can have. Vitamin C you can have.
Totally.
You can have that, right? I don't know what they're doing, but what we had done, we have stopped whey protein a week before. We had just kept, just vitamin C at the end, no multivitamins at all, and it worked.
Have you noticed that the artificial sweetener in the whey protein makes
Absolutely
film?
Absolutely. I'm totally against that. Even in the last, I try to cut out each and every flavored supplement 10 to 15 days out.
Yeah, because the artificial flavor is
Yeah. They can play very bad. And end of the time, they can play very bad with your digestion.
Totally. They mess up your gut biome.
They are unpredictable.
Yeah. Causes the bloating a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even
Sorry.
what are your thoughts about prepping on a flexible dieting?
What does that mean?
Even same reaction from me. When someone asks for a flexible dieting, can we have flavored soda? Can we have diet coke? I was like, what the fuck, dude? Do you want to prep or not? What's that?
That's not prepping.
That's not prepping.
That's not
That's
prepping.
just that's
That's just
you are doing a prep to look better. But if you want to be in the top spot, you have to die. That's it.
yeah, there's
You
no
can't be flexible. You can't be flexible. Yes, you are an influencer. You just want your audience to show, oh yeah, that I can compete. Do a flexible diet and be there.
Flexible diet to me is carb rotating, either low carb or medium carb. That's flexible diet.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I said. The maximum flexibility that I can give you is that someday I can give you 120 grams of rice instead of 50 gram of rice. That's the maximum I can do for you, brother. Not more than that.
Yeah. No, and I'm sure, Chad's been doing this as long as me. From my understanding, the ones who've been doing this from the very beginning.
No, and you can't create the Olympians on a flexible dieting.
No, and we all know that. We all know that. I think
someone can be a pro if he is genetically too good. If he is genetically too good, but when we talk about the top Olympians, when you already have the genetics, but again, you have to compete for a ruthless top spot. You can't do that on a flexible dieting. That's it.
Flexible dieting. These are new terms, people make up for being lazy, for not really wanting to do it. I say that either get serious or don't. I mean, but bodybuilding's an equation.
Yeah.
You gotta do certain things to look a certain way. And if you want to do it. If you don't.
Literally.
Are you doing it right now? Yourself?
What?
But the bodybuilding diet? I'm not. Are you?
No.
I can't eat like that all the time. I can't. Yeah. I mean, it's 6 times a day, dude. It's a lot on your digestion.
The thing is that the goals are different, right? Yes, I do the diet because if I am going out of the diet, I can't even work in my office. That's it.
That's because if you go outside of eating healthy, the food's not healthy. So we eat healthy, but do you eat 6 times a day?
No. Maximum 4. Yeah, if I'm training legs, if I'm training legs, it's 4. If I'm not training legs on some days, upper body, 3 meals, 2 whey proteins. That's it.
Yeah.
My regular vitamins.
I think a lot of guys overeat, and I think they overeat and they don't train as hard as they should to really absorb the food that they're eating.
Absolutely.
And you stretch out your stomach. I mean, let's just face it. You eating all that food, you're stretching it out. That's why you want to look good a couple weeks before the show, and then you can cut it back and shrink your whole midsection.
Yeah.
And that's when trend helps. Trend helps then. If you use trend the whole time, it's not going to work at the end. Use it the last couple weeks when you cut back the calories and you want to still keep the muscle, it'll work great for 2 weeks. So hold your muscle while you cut back the calories and increase the workload for 2 weeks. After, it won't work more than that, but that's
absolutely. And that's the actual role of trend, right? And people are using it for fat loss now. The
people irony, they start the entire cycle off like the
absolutely
cycle now. It's got everything in it. It's got it all the whole time.
People are doing it like that. Okay, we are 16 weeks out from the show. Let's start from 50, 50, 50, right? And we can shoot up to 100, 100, 100 at the end.
Yeah. It's
bad.
changed. Everything's changed, and I think I don't see how taking more drugs can speed up protein synthesis to
Not at all.
actually make you build
Not at
muscle
all.
faster.
Not at all. Not at all.
Now, if there was a way to speed up
Because
digestion,
it's very critical thing. Let's understand this. For muscle protein synthesis, you just don't need drug to be there, right? You have each and every nutrient present in your muscle all the time through the day. During the training, after the training, you have to keep every nutrient. You need to understand that. Until unless you are not doing that, you are not actually doing a bodybuilder's muscle protein synthesis.
right? 100%.
And more drug or overconsumption of food, these two are not the options. You
No.
have to see at what amount of food, how your body is feeling through the entire day, how your body is feeling during the training and after the training. You literally feel those differences.
Sure.
Mean if you're not taking your meals properly, or if you had missed a meal before the training or in the entire day, you can't train same. If you had, let's say you are accustomed to use 4 meals before the training, if you had taken 3 meals before the training, you can't train same. That's a fact.
That's true.
So nutrition is that.
It'd be great if you could do everything the right way, which is started off in the morning.
Yeah.
But not everybody can do that. The one guy I seen one when I was younger, and I was competing in local competition. I saw a guy at our gym. He won the show. He looked incredible. This guy had tissue skin. His skin was so thin. I asked him, I said, what do you do? He goes, well, I work all day. So they give me the key to the gym. I get here, what he said, like 5 a.m. And he does everything before he ever eats. He does his workout, he does his cardio, he does everything. And then he eats all the rest of the day. And then if he can, he'll do a little cardio at night. And that guy was so shredded. He was just shredded. And then they didn't take all the drugs they do now, because all the drugs make you hold water. They don't make you look as good.
Absolutely.
They make you look worse.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What I like most about Hunter Labrada is one quote: win the day.
You
To
think?
be a bodybuilder,
Yeah.
to be a bodybuilder, you have to win your each and every day, each and every meal. You have to fight your battle like that.
He was blending food and eating Rice Krispie treats and stuff. I don't see how that's going to equate to real muscle.
I'm just talking about the quote.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the quote: win the day.
Win
As
the
a
day.
bodybuilder, absolutely, you have to fight the battle each and every day. You have to
Yeah.
win your each and every day, not others.
It's almost like having cancer.
Yeah.
you gotta win each day. You gotta take or being an alcoholic or something, you gotta do each day. You gotta try your best to just stay on the path that you're on.
Let's not go into the details with the 212 predictions. Just first, who's gonna come first? I think I'm betting on Sean Clarida.
Sean, yeah, I have Sean in first, and I think in second place, I think the Iranian guy who's in his 50s looks incredible. I think he might do second.
Kamal.
Yes, Kamal. I think Kamal might come in second. I don't think Kamal can beat Sean just because Sean looks like a trophy that got shrunk. He does. He looks really good, right? Yeah. Doesn't he? Like, I mean, when he at the Legion, when he won, the trophy was half his size. Is it? This is not a. It's not. I'm not making fun of the guy. I'm short too, but he's 5'3", right?
Yeah, and crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Very strong. Very strong.
Very strong. And again, let's take the example of Sean and Hadi. Strong, dense, condensed, mature.
Yeah.
And what's the key? Intensity. Those guys bring that intensity to the training that no one, I think, the mixture of volume and intensity that these two guys are doing is just way better than all the others are doing.
I mean, I've seen Ramy doing the drop sets. I've seen Derek doing them also, and I think that's also the reason why they're good.
The execution of Ramy at heavyweights is not as that good as Sean and Hadi.
They're pushing it harder.
Right. Rami can't handle that weight in that elegant way.
But he's still going to be the best. He's still going to win.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on? As far as his quads go, do you agree with me about him puncturing the striation and flattening the striation of the muscle? Or do you think it's something else?
No, I think this year it's better than last year. They're doing it better this year.
Well, what is it? What do you think caused it in the first place?
Again, yeah,
Puncturing it. So it's just repeated injections over and over again.
Yeah, I think if that is because of puncturing, Chad is not doing that right now.
No, this is before him.
Yeah, all that thing has done previously in Kuwait when he was in Kuwait.
It was in Kuwait, and I think a lot of it, because I noticed it big time last year, it apparently had to do with whatever he was taking. And according to Tony, because I was with him, all he was taking was EA stuff. So if he was taking EA stuff, maybe he would just kept putting it over and over again in his leg.
We have seen even the enhanced stuff in India too.
Yeah.
Way more
Tell me about
overpriced, way more overpriced, and we have already far better options than that. And
yeah, have you tested it? Have you had it tested?
Yeah, I have tested it.
It's not that great.
No, it's just plain and simple. Just sold at the higher prices just because of Remy was with them. That's it.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I don't see any difference.
Yeah, I don't see that.
EA stuff is not as good as that. It has been marketed. Let's be honest about that.
Do you think that Remy had a special batch than other people, or you think it was just the same shit? They just gave it to him free.
These shit runs down very deep. And even what you can do. If your raw materials is not as good as that you wanted it to be, your sourcing of raws is not good. What special you can make? What special you can make? No, you can't make it special. It's just about the sourcing.
Yeah, and they're getting it from China. So
each and everyone is getting from China. The thing is that
who is making it? That's the question. Who's making it in China, and how light is the Dalton weight on each drug? That's what matters.
Absolutely.
Also, the carrier solvent, the carriers.
Yeah, and how efficiently you store it, how efficiently you transport it. These things matter a lot.
Yeah, some of these things got to be kept dark. That's why they have them in dark files.
Absolutely.
Light destroys it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's give them a wrap up of our top 10, and we'll start. So Ramy's in first, Hadi's in second.
Yeah.
Third is
Derek.
Fourth Andrew. Fifth
Bonac.
Brandon. Okay. Fifth Bonac. Sixth Brandon then.
Sixth Brandon. Yes, you can have that.
Sixth Brandon. Seventh is going to be Nick. No.
Yeah.
Nick beats Brandon. Nick doesn't beat Brandon. Nick should beat Brandon, huh?
Nick beats him,
But politics
again, it just this one thing can shake up the lineup.
Yeah. Politics is something, man. I'm telling you. When I saw Hunter,
we are again extending that. We are not wrapping it up. Now we are starting to extend that again. Let's wrap it up.
Okay. So we got Nick, and then we got Hunter, and then we got Ian, or we got Ian then Hunter.
Ian and Hunter.
Ian and Hunter. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the prediction. Let's see what happens. William could place higher. Andrew might not place as high because he has not shown yet to be, that conditioning that really matters. But
these two guys are clicking so good with Josh Farah, Blessing, and Andrew. They can do anything. I'm putting Blessing in top 10 let's be honest, we have done the predictions up to 9th place, and the 10 should be Blessing.
Okay. So Blessing is behind Ian and Hunter.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Even if Hunter doesn't show up that good, Ian can sneak up into the first call outs too. If any one or two guys just don't play,
They're not going to let it happen. They're not going
let's
to let
see.
it happen.
Because Ian is doing very good.
Yeah.
Ian is doing very good in the pro shows. So
Ian poses really well.
let's see.
His condition's always on, you know?
Yeah.
He always looks great, but his dad's not Lee Labrada,
Let's see.
you know? It's just one of those things that I've noticed in the years. Like even, okay, for example, even when Phil was dethroned, right? Then the following year he came back, he still didn't win, right? So they kind of like let you know that we're not,
Stop doing that.
yeah, we're not interested in you. You're kind of, we're fading you out, right? Ronnie, same thing with him. When he didn't win and then he kind of placed out of the top 3, you know, he wasn't going to come back. That was it. It was over, right?
Yeah.
I think with Brandon, it's going to be the, is he going to be
last
William
chance
or not? Yeah. I mean,
It will be the last chance that they're giving him the top 5. After that, no chance. No chance.
This is it. This is his last chance. And it basically boils down to him beating Bonac or not. And I don't think he can actually beat Bonac, but if Bonac beats him, then Brandon's done. That's it.
Yeah.
And then will Bonac then probably go on to win the Arnold Classic? Probably. You know?
Yeah.
Can Bonac beat Nick head on?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, he can. So Nick is, you know, he's got a lot cut out for him.
I know that Nick is not going to miss the conditioning. He's gonna nail it.
He's gonna nail
it. Yeah, if William Bonac can hit that and Chad can hit that with William, yes, William can beat Nick all the time, because Nick needs more muscle maturity that he will get. Eventually, he will get that. No, he's not going to stay behind all the time. Eventually, he gonna climb up the places.
It's hard to say, man, because if next year comes and Andrew gets in better condition, Nick's never going to beat Andrew.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening this year either.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. All right. Well, until we see you again, which will be shortly. Hope you guys enjoyed our predictions.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Till next time. I'll see you.
Bye-bye.